The following opinions are those of the host and not of the LNM radio network. They are mine and usually right. We're coming to you live deep within Southeast Asia, deep within China. This is Tough Reality. We welcome you from the internet, shortwave, on the phone lines, from around the world, wherever you may be. We welcome you. We will discuss reality and truth that is right in front of your face. Sometimes the toughest things are right before us. We'll discuss issues of politics, religion, economics, and all the things that you don't discuss at the family dinner. No topic is off limits. We're in China, and we will discuss thoughts from a global perspective. If it is PG-13 and interesting, it is fair game. I look forward to meeting you on the show. Call in and discuss your favorite topic. We might disagree, but I'll let you get your point across, and I will not cut you off. Have you had your daily dose of TR? Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, and go to our website at toughreality.com. That's TOUGHREALITY.com. Or email us at mike@toughreality.com. Also, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. The calling number today is 347-989-1012. That's 347-989-1012. Remember, hit the number 1 if you want to talk on the air. Now here is Mike with Tough Reality.
All right, everybody, how you doing? This is Mike with Tough Reality. toughreality.com. Thank you so much for listening. We, right before we were going on the air, my Skype cut out. So I had to dial in quickly, and I made it just in a nick of time. So today we'll have a lot of information, a lot of good things. We have a guest today. She'll be on a little bit later. We're going to go ahead and talk a little news up front, talk a few different things. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is March 5th, 2013. We're already 5 days into March. What are you doing to change your life? You remember, you choose for you. So in Tough Reality, we make sure that we are changing every day, right? So January, February are gone, but we still have a lot of time, and this year is going to fly by. But a lot of interesting things are going on in the world right now. We had one thing, and that's that the Dow Jones Industrial Average has hit over the previous high from 2007. That was about 14,198. Now it's right around 14,297. So it's very, very exciting. And so it's good to hear. We might have some people calling in about the market, and just to talk about it briefly. I don't want to take up too much of the time with our guest today. Ann Layton is her name. It's going to be a very interesting interview. We have her for about an hour and a half, and so we have a lot of interesting questions lined up for her, and she's going to talk about some interesting things. But also, in the world, we have some characters, and I like to call them characters, over there in Asia, Iran, and Venezuela. You know, the leader of Venezuela, Chavez, he has another serious thing. So I don't pray any evil on anybody, but I pray that he gets better. But I also pray he changes his positions and how he wants to hurt the West and that. And then also, of course, the Iranian leader, Barack Obama, has said openly, hey, don't think we're faking you, that if we need to, we will attack you. So we got those drum rolls of the war going on again. And then also we have Kim Jong-un over in North Korea saying that he's just going to say no more ceasefire from the Korean War. I'm going to go ahead and try to blow people up. What a wonderful guy he is, right? So we got those guys going on in the world. But at the same time, all you people out there that are stock market people that enjoy the market, you are celebrating right now all over the East Coast, West Coast, any coast that you might be on. But it's very exciting. It's right at about 14,240, 50-ish, right in that area. But something that's very interesting. We're going to know, really, what's going to happen. And we're going to know, at the end of this day, what if this is going to hold. Last time this type of thing happened, you remember, we had a big old bubble burst. And so the problem is that we want to be excited, we want to be happy, and I'm happy for all you guys to have money in the market. I at this point have my money in cash and gold, and don't really have much in the market. I have a little bit in 401ks and things like that, things I can't touch until I'm over 65. So we're hoping that everything goes well. At least I am. I want to gain back some of that money that I lost. I think I lost probably, in most people, maybe 30%. After 2008, I probably lost about 30% of what I had in there. So it just whoosh, gone away. And so that happens sometimes, and that's the luck of the draw, I guess. Anyway, today we're going to have a great show. Again, on Tough Reality, we talk about everything. We talk about politics, religion, economics, all kinds of stuff that most of the people don't talk at the family dinner table. And so we talk about them on our show. And we like to do that. We like to allow people to express their views. Now, my view on this stock market thing is this. I believe that the economy right now is still in the trash. It's still in the dumpster. It's not very well. But there is some things that are going on in the markets that are causing this to run up. And people are trying to be optimistic. There's money being pumped into the market from a few different sources. So I don't want to have any false hope. We'll see how this goes. I would say that it's going to retract a little bit from the 14,250 mark. It'll probably bump back down. There'll be some sell-off here shortly. It'll probably bump back down to around 13, maybe 13.5. But it's still at a good level. Okay. Now, if it continues to bump up against this new high, then it might break through. 3 or 4 days, it could be up at 15,000. It very well could be, because there's nothing really to stop it. It's a psychological thing, and I think that if people allow it, they'll pop right back into the market. If they do that, that'll cause another surge, and that surge could bring the market up to 15K, which, man, if it did that, that would be really crazy, really incredible. I know that Google stock was way the heck up, and so is my Microsoft. I have Google and I have Microsoft stock. I have some and minor technologies. That's what I know. I'm from IT, right? So I have IBM, I have Sprint, I have Google, I have Microsoft, I have Dell. What else do I have? I also have Sun, Sun Solaris. I have that. I have Palm. And a little bit of Apple. Not a lot, but anyway, those are what I have, and so it's a varied thing. But I'm in the tech sector. It's because what I know. I wouldn't go buy. For me, I'm not going to go buy stock that I don't know. I know companies, and I've worked at all those companies. I also worked at Honeywell for a while, so I have some Honeywell stock. And so when I worked at those, I also had some stock from Boeing, mainly because my dad had stock in McDonnell Douglas. When he worked it there, and then now that stock is over in us, and so Boeing bought McDonnell Douglas, and so a lot of that stock transferred over, and so I bought some of that over the years too. So it's fun. I like playing those kind of stocks, but I don't get in, get out, get in, get out. I have some of my friends that they do that. They in and out, and then they do that. And some people, I was talking a little bit to my friend Rob Greaves. He's a big stock guy, and he does a lot of stuff. He might come on later. I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's in the middle of a home remodel, trying to remodel his home and that type of thing. So pray everything goes well with that. We might have some other people on too to talk a little bit about the markets and how they're going. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I think that it's very good that this is happening. It's good for our economy. It's good for things that are happening in our world. I know a lot of people have been depressed about the things that go on with the markets and that, but it's good that this happened right now. I think it's really good, and because we've had over the past few months, it's been really crappy. We've had some of the big things with the sinkholes and the sun, and we've had some severe storms with snow and hurricanes, and We've had people threatening war in Israel, Iran, and Turkey, and Syria, and Hamas, the Hamas people, and we've had all kinds of wars in that area, earthquakes, very bad earthquakes, all this stuff going on. The housing market's been to crap. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But this is I say, a little bit of good news, okay? It's okay to have good thoughts, and there are a lot of people in the alternative media like myself, sometimes they will focus on the negative all the time. And so, sometimes when good things happen like this, we should go ahead and focus on something nice. And I think that's what this is. It's a nice bit of news. A lot of my friends, like I say, are in the market, and they're really liking that this thing. I think this morning they're very probably excited. I know I was talking earlier to our guest that'll be on here shortly, and she said that she has a lot of friends in the market that they're probably very happy and doing that type of thing. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and talk with our guest here, and her name is Ann Layton. Now, Ann Layton, she believes that artists can work within their own means by actually creating their own career opportunities. Very interesting. And she has done that just for herself via her love of mass media and a writer, a publicist, and a music services person. Now, she's had a lot of people. She's worked with like Jethro Tull and Grand Funk Railroad and the Family Stone and all kinds of really interesting people. Now, she herself is very active. She's a very active writer. She's written 2 books. Now, they're very interesting. Pause for Thought. This is P-A-W-S instead of P-A-U-S-E, so it's a play on words. Pause for Thought. Understanding what your cat is thinking. Very interesting. And using your art and the media to comfort people. I like to comfort people. In fact, what I like to do, or what I like to say I like to do, is I like to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Sometimes, that's a thing I like to do. And so Ann's going to come on with us, and she's going to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about this, and we're going to bring her into the mix right here, right now. Ann, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Very good to have you on today. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I'm having, I'm normally not a morning riser, but it's kind of a nice vibe to do that. So here you go.
I like that. So normally you're in the evening time. Me, I usually sleep about 4 hours a night.
Bless you.
I don't know if it's a blessing, but it definitely is different. I go to bed about 2, after the radio show, and I usually get up around 6-ish or so, just because I get something in my head, and
right.
then I got to run to my computer, and then I got to write it down, and that just is my own personality. So today we're going to talk with you about a lot of different things, but I want you to go ahead and, in the beginning here, tell us, in fact, where you live, where you're at right now, what you like to do, and sort of give us an overview of where you're at, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then sort of maybe tell the people where you want to take us today.
Well, I'd love to take you anywhere you want to go, because since this is internet radio, we can use our imagination. So that's always my big thing is what people can do on their own as far as their creative desires. It makes you feel good and you feel productive when you realize what you've done. I'm based in New York City, so I get to fuse and hang out with a lot of different artists. The city seems to be, despite the how expensive it is to live in the city seems to be a great place that artists will go to, because there are a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of way of creating your own opportunities here as you end up hanging out with different artists. So I think that's an important thing for all of us. I myself, in addition to working with bands and promoting them, I'm a working writer and I'm a poet. And I've been able to sometimes find gigs in the city and enjoy it. And I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign to help raise funds so I can go on the road and go to other towns and generate creativity other places.
Right. So you said you're a poet.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh. I love poetry.
Me too.
A lot of people, sometimes they think it's a waste of time. I really, when I was in about the 6th grade, is when I really got interested in it because of Shakespeare and sonnets.
Right. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what got me started, and then I started reading things, and I wound up reading a lot of Edgar Allan Poe stuff, and
he's from the Bronx.
I know. I really enjoy, because a lot of his poetry really makes you think. I mean, it really makes you there. Like the Tell Heart, different things that he's written, both in his prose and his poetry. Can you, Anne? Do you have a poem that you can share with us, or?
I am going. As we started talking, I decided I better open my files to do it, and we will soon.
Very good. So I'm excited about that. So your company is called Ann Layton Media Music Services, right? And, motivation. Now, how is motivation part of all this show business?
Well, it's artists need to be goal centric, and so you look at what they want to do, where they are in their career, and what it takes to get to point B, C, D, and so on. That's part of it. The other part is since we're all human, we go through these. Why isn't the music business paying attention to me? Why is this happening? It is so hard. Yeah. So
that's reality.
Yeah. So that is reality. That is a reality check. So yeah.
That's good.
Tough reality.
Do you play music? Do you play an instrument?
I just use my voice. No, I don't. I did study various instruments in school growing up. I did learn how to play the guitar. Basic instruments with everything from flute to viola to keyboard. So I've got all that music theory in my head, but I don't have the practice. And that that's fine. I took singing lessons as well, and all this stuff that kids do, and some of these lessons that I took, like viola. The schools in those days were offering classes in viola or flute or clarinet too.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I play the saxophone, guitar, and piano. And I'm in China, Shenzhen, China, about 1 hour from Hong Kong. It's 11 p.m. here at nighttime. Well, it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm learning how to play 2 instruments. One is wuxi, which is like a flute. Okay. And then I'm also learning how to play the guzhen, which is like a guitar on its side.
Yeah.
And so I love music, Ann. It's just, I love to sing, and over here, karaoke is a very big thing, singing, right? So do you sing karaoke?
I could. I haven't, but I'm sure I can find the time to do that sometime. It would be fun.
Very good. I mean,
love it. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do, Bungle in the Jungle.
Jethro Tull.
Yeah, of course. I have to spread the word.
No, that's a good thing.
I'm not sure if I'm doing Ian a favor by doing karaoke, but.
So, have you ever been to China?
No. That's actually one of the places in the world that I've dreamt of visiting, though.
It's open there, Ann. If you ever come near China or near Hong Kong, just let me know, and we'll sneak you across the border. It's very easy to go from Hong Kong. You get a visa, usually within. This is for all my listeners. If you ever want to come to China, go to Hong Kong first. You get a visa. You can either get a 7-day, a 30-day. It takes about 24 hours, and then you can't go all over China, but you can go to Shenzhen and get a very good flavor of what China's all about.
Cool. It's funny. I'm doing flashbacks. My friend Emily went to China just recently, and she's got a cosmetics business where she herself, she's a motivator, has created some creams, and I'm trying to remember the name of her company, which it'll come to me, because she's totally into organic foods and makeup. And then I also remember I was friends with a band called South Gang, who are there's a singer that's popular in America named Butch Walker, who was in that band, and they were on a government-sponsored trip to China, and they got to sample the cuisine, and a lot of the meals that they were eating had insects in them, like grasshoppers, and it's like, oh really, Chinese food, huh? So much different than our egg rolls, yeah.
Well, when you first come here, you have to sort of overcome your fear of eating things, because for example, they eat chicken feet, they eat duck feet, they eat a lot of different insides of animals. Dog, they eat dog here.
Yeah, see, we don't eat dog here, but we eat cow here, and I know in India you don't.
Right, and so there's many different things when it comes to that, and it's very good. So you're a publicist now. Your job is as this music publicist. What advice do you have for being able to actually connect with people that you don't know?
Well, the first thing, I think the big thing that everybody is worried about is, what is this person going to think of me? Mm-hmm. And if you can get past that by realizing everybody's concerned with what they think of, what other people are going to think of them, you'll do fine. Because it's understanding that everybody has needs and things like that. And then as a publicist or any job in sales, you're basically going down a list of people and or of outlets. So you just have to keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. So I would say just understand that everybody else is worried about what they're going to think, what other people are going to think of them, and just know that you're there to bless people. I think the other thing is publicists really should choose to work with artists and musicians that they think are great, as opposed to just taking on any old project. I mean, I work with two baby artists. Well, I'll call them baby artists, even though they're obviously grown guys in their late 20s, let's say, or thereabouts, maybe early 30s. But the important thing is just believing in their quality. One is Joe Denenzone, who actually was born in Russia. Really? And he is one of the best electric violinists around. He's an alternative violinist. He's played with Bruce Springsteen and Richie Blackmore and President Clinton. And he just gets out there and just performs. And then the other artist is Jan Close, who's singing the upcoming Jeff Buckley biopic, Greetings from Tim Buckley. He's one of the best singers around today. And both those artists, I believe in them so much. Mm-hmm. I see their talent as great as Ian Anderson's talent. And
really?
Yeah, they're great. They're just they're consummate artists. They love what they're doing, and they're always on their craft and getting acclaim from the fans. And I think that makes it easier to talk with the media about them. And I'm sometimes generally surprised if someone doesn't listen to them.
Oh.
You know, yeah, that's how strong I feel about these artists. You mean you haven't listened to them?
So do you find most artists are very humble people?
It varies. I can't I definitely can't put one size fits all on any artist. I'm humble.
So
yeah, so it varies. I think if you are daily taking care of business and dealing with issues that pop in your way, in some aspects you can't help but be humbled per se, because your focus is trying to get work done, and these obstacles just come your way. So you have to find different ways of dealing with business, taking care of business.
Let's talk about that. You often talk about the struggle, people go through, and how they can be good. The struggles can be good for you, that they can empower you, they can make you strong. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. It's basically when you do exercise, and I love exercising. Okay, my favorite thing is weightlifting and dancing. Those are my two favorite exercises. And what I'm dealing with is I have this visualization, and I'm pulling a lot from Arnold Schwarzenegger's teachings. He wrote a book called Education of a Bodybuilder, and his line was, 50 pounds feels like 50 pounds. It could be Arnold Schwarzenegger lifting it, but it's still a job to lift 50 pounds. So if you're focused on looking good lifting 50 pounds versus I'm going to lift 50 pounds, not look good. My job is to lift 50 pounds, okay? Your intent will be all that much stronger because you're focused on the task at hand. And you push it, or you lift it, or you pull it, whatever motion that you have to do at that time. And that's what you deal with. So you deal with,
do it.
Yeah, you just basically focus on the goal. If you're focused on everything surrounding the goal, your intent is not as powerful.
Wow. And this is getting to be a very good interview here. I really enjoy this. We're going to have to take our first break here, though.
Okay.
I'll take it. It's going to be about a 5-minute break or so. I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to bring you right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be exciting. We have a lot of good things here. Ann is a music publicist. She's got a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. We haven't even talked about her books yet. She can help us learn how to take our lives to the next level. I like that. So if you want to call in, the number is 347-989-1012. That's 347-989-1012. You can call in, but hit the 1 key on your phone pad so I know you want to get on the air. Otherwise, you can sit there and listen on the radio show. You can listen to us on Skype. Now, remember, you can email me at mike@toughreality.com. You can follow us up at Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, any of those places. You can just type in Mike Aemisegger, Aemisegger. In Google, you'll find me all over the place, or type in Tough Reality, and you'll see our radio show all over. Remember, we enjoy each one of our listeners. Shout out to all you guys all over the world. Thank you for listening to us, and we will see you on the other side.
Is there proof of God's existence in our government's records? Author Jose Collazo brings his years of research into this stunning question to light in God Does Exist, No More Nuclear Testing, and more. Touching on little-known government projects such as the Remote Viewers Program and Active Auroral Research Program, Collazo has uncovered some amazing discoveries through his research and use of the Freedom of Information Act. From uncovered information on the Ark of the Covenant to connections between natural disasters and nuclear testing, experience this revealing look into our government's obscure and hidden work. Discover how new and experimental technologies may change our world forever and uncover monumental proof and answers to mankind's greatest questions in God does exist, no more nuclear testing, and more.
Hello, this is Michael Vera for CureShop.com with products endorsed by Dr. Leonard Horowitz, including Liquid Dentist, a one-stop defense system for not only your mouth, but your whole body. This unprecedented product aggressively attacks the critters that cause oral diseases using concentrated microfine silver plus oxygen and minerals to help reverse tooth decay and gum diseases, helping repair your teeth and gums naturally. Then, by swallowing this amazing and good-tasting tooth and gum saver, you actually get a natural, nutritional immunization against more than 1,000 strains of oral bacteria and viruses when you swallow. Liquid Dentist is awesome for boosting natural immunity. Imagine your teeth feeling hygienic clean and super smooth for up to 3 days after each use. Swish with it 3 minutes or more after brushing and flossing. Gargle to freshen and protect your throat, and then swallow Liquid Dentist. Wow! What a great idea. It's all natural, healing, and protective. Dr. Horowitz developed Liquid Dentist based on emerging science from England showing a 20-second exposure to medical-grade ozone kills germs deep within decay, even down to the nerve. Then highly concentrated mineral mouth rinsing can remineralize your teeth and harden them, even harder than they were originally. This way, teeth can be saved and not drilled away or lost due to decay or tooth fracture. Plus, Liquid Dentist kills periodontal germs and leaves your breath fresh and teeth feeling professionally clean for days. Go to liquiddentist.net to learn more, or go to CureShop.com. That's CureShop.com, CureShoppe.com, to order your supply of Liquid Dentist today, or call toll-free 1-888-621-7611. That's 1-888-621-7611. Call now to save your smile. You're listening to the LNM Radio Network. Folks, I want to take a minute to tell you about an exciting change to our format. We work hard to bring you the truth and give you, the people, a voice. We have done this at no cost to the members, as well as given freely our time. For us to continue to deliver the top-notch guests and conversations you have come to expect from Late Night in the Midlands, we are offering an exciting new format with many new benefits. Late Night in the Midlands will be offering valued memberships at $5 a month. That's about 16 cents a day to become a Late Night in the Midlands insider. Benefits to being an insider include the L&M newsletter, 4 years of audio archives, special priority email, as well as call-in priority, access to groups and special offers, full access to all shows on the L&M network, access to contests, product and service giveaways. These changes are an exciting change to our format, especially the contests and giveaways, and we are confident that you will receive great value for your insider subscription. Thank you for your continued support as we change the world one truth at a time. Subscribe now by going to www.latenightinthe-midlands.com and help us help you see behind the curtain. There is a condition 1 out of every 3 people around the world suffer with, RMS. A condition that can be crippling, RMS. A condition that causes confusion and discomfort, rapid pounding of a fist on tables, and unwillingness to watch the fake news, RMS. Restless mind syndrome. You may not have heard of it, but if you are one of the millions suffering from this condition, there is now hope. You do not have to go through life not knowing what to do next or how to rid yourself of this health-bearing condition, now being recognized by doctors, lawyers, and victims all over the world. The cure? LNM. Just listen to this testimonial by one of our subscribers.
I can say true to my heart that LNM worked for me. I stood up day and night confused by what the fake news has told me. I could not even take care of my family or hold a job. I couldn't even get off the couch to do anything, and I knew there was a problem. Now, since I've been on LMN, my family life is back, and I'm waking up more people than ever around the world.
Now you know what you can do to put an end to restless mind syndrome. Ask your doctor about LNM and ask if it's right for you. LNM should not be taken without a prescription. It should never be taken while on drugs like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. You should also tell your doctor if you take Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, or Randy Rhoads serious. Side effects of LNM include waking up, spreading truth, passing out cards and flyers. Other side effects may include, but not limited to, the expansion of mind and thought, arguments with sheeple, high blood pressure, preparedness, mood swings, and the feeling of a need to get involved. If you see chemtrails after you have begun using LNM, contact your state and local officials immediately, because this could be a sign you're waking up. LNM, because you don't have to live in the dark with RMS anymore.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike at toughreality.com. Thanks to all you guys out there listening all over the world. I really appreciate everybody. We have thousands of listeners out there. It's really exciting getting emails from India and Russia and Germany and Africa and South America, North America, China, of course. You know, right now we have about 1,000 listeners inside of China. So it's very exciting. Hello, all my Chinese friends. Ni hao. It's good to have you guys here. I'm very excited that we have an opportunity to share with Ann Layton today. She's a music publicist and does many different things, and I'm sure she's a great singer too, and she's a poet and all kinds of great stuff. Welcome back, Ann.
Hey, thank you, and ni hao.
Yeah, that's right. Ni hao. That's a great way to smile over here. So if you come over here, I have an engineer here with me over at Studio B, Engineer Kelly. She is Chinese, right, Kelly? There she goes.
Hi, Kelly.
You hear her?
As we say in the Bronx, yo, Kelly.
She says hi back to you. Her English is actually very good, and so it's very fun to have her on with me, because she actually helps. Sometimes we have in studio people from China, so I'll actually have Chinese people here. We recently, about 3 months ago, we had a psychic on. Her name is Helene Olson. And anyway, she actually helped predict some things for these Chinese people. So they came to the studio here, or the studio, came in, sat down, asked questions from China to Helene in the United States. So it was pretty cool. One lady, this is just something to tell all the audience. One lady asked a question, am I ever going to have a baby again? And Helene said, yes, you are going to have a baby. And after the show, she said, Mike, I don't know that I'm going to have a baby. But guess what happens like 1 month later? Boom, she's pregnant. And
wonderful.
It is. It's a pretty cool thing. So anyway, we were talking about music publicists and this, that, and the other. But before that, we were talking about poetry, and you actually have a poem maybe for us.
I do.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorites. This came about. My older brother Dave is a computer genius and used to work at a company called Space Imaging. They created satellite photography, and they use it for all the wars to get, confidential information. But they also do some sort of exploration, and they discovered through their works that the Earth is slightly smaller on the upper half than the lower half. Not really? Round, but pear-shaped.
Oh, pear-shaped?
Yeah, that's apparently, slightly pear-shaped,
Maybe I should have him on guest still.
Oh, gosh. It would be wonderful. But he ends up keeping things secret because a lot of his work is government contracting. But he would be good. It'd be great to talk about homelessness, and you get different political perspectives from my brother than you get from me, so it's great.
Well, that's good.
So here is: the Earth is a pear-shaped mother.
Ooh.
Oh, Mamma Mia, Galileo, Galilee, thank you from outer space, sweet Mama O Terra. I love you in marvelous 3D with a multitude of infinity triple Ds. When Columbus sailed the sea, He proved you weren't flat, nor were you the center of the universe, just a smart lady spinning around. Your fires, tears, the coldness, warmth, your beautiful trees, seas, beautiful mama, not the center of the universe, just a part of the galaxies, your curves, not round, but a big, beautiful tush. Pear-shaped Mother Earth, a beautiful discovery from today's space imagist technology, inspired from Father Galileo Galilei. What say you, pear-shaped Mamma Mia? Thank you for finally noticing.
Wow. I like that.
Thank
That's
you.
great, Ann. I like it. May I have your permission to post that on my website?
Oh, please do.
Okay. It'll be there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll post it up there. You can go to toughreality.com. Ann will have her own page up there with her other information, website, and all that other intro. But we'll put that poem in there so you guys can look at it. Very, very good poem. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everybody hears that. That's really good. I like that. My sister likes poetry, too. Hi, sis.
Hey, sis.
Yeah. So very good. So let me ask you a question. In working with these musicians, or, in interviews and things like that, what comparisons or even parallels would you have with people who are non-artists and what they go through?
Well, you're always contending against something or for something if you're motivated. I mean, non-artists, a New York City businessman is going to wake up every day and try to get up a little bit earlier so that he can have a functional morning, and then he's going to get on the train and get ready for work and do his homework for the day on the train. He's going to read his Wall Street Journal probably, and get to the city and deal with work. And let's say his goal is to bring in 10 new accounts to his business every day. And
right.
As he's trying to get those 10 accounts, he's dealing with potential customers who might not have the money, let's say, or have some excuse for not taking up his service. So there are those parallels as well. Both musicians have to dress for the part, as well as business people have to dress for the part. So so there's the image that you're working on. There are all those different things. I used to interview rock bands. Years ago, I was a music journalist, and I remember having conversations with people like Eric Burden or Salt and Pepper.
Wow.
Yeah, and Lisa and the Cold Jam and Metallica and stuff like that, and they were going through their struggles, and I loved asking them more so about what their reflections were for trying to make it, because I could relate to that. And I'm figuring other people, my readers, were also trying to figure out how to make it, so to speak. And the other thing is, whether you're a musician or you're a worker, you're dealing with the problems of the world. You're concerned that most of the world is running right, and it doesn't always work that way, as we know.
Right.
So I think there's something like 4 to 10% of the world's population that are negative people that don't try to better themselves, and those people are generally sociopaths, people who depend on everyone else to make the world better. And you could be super rich, or you could be super poor, or in between. You don't know. It's not reflective of economic status. It's more just reflective of the people not, making things worse for the rest of us.
Yeah. I know. I call them psychic vampires.
Psychic vampires. Very true. Very true. Because they do eat at you.
Yes.
I went through years where I was trying to make everybody I knew a better person, and
and that's a big project.
Yeah, it really ended up to be me casting my pearls before swine, not working with the right people. And I learned from that. And I think there's 2 or 3 big surefire ways that you can discern good people from bad people. Generally what happens is if you meet someone and immediately they start telling you something like, I suffer from depression, or something like that, when they first tell you out of the gate something that makes you want to feel sorry for them, that's a surefire sign that the person isn't doing anything to help themselves. But in general, most of the time you just start seeing patterns. You start seeing, this person is always borrowing money from me. This person never seems to have anything on their own, even though they're working.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, I know,
okay.
and I agree. I mean, there are people that there's no way that you'll ever change them. It's like talking to a stone.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, and sometimes they pick up their own stone and throw it at you. If you don't listen to them and you don't give what they want and you don't somehow submit to them, that somehow you're a bad person. Yeah. And I've learned just like you've learned that I'm a good person. Right. And if you want to call me a bad person, that's you. That has nothing to do with me or my reality. That's you and your little world. You can go stand in the corner and talk to yourself if you want, but no longer will you talk to me, right? And so you're very right. And I appreciate the fact that many people like yourself are awakened to the fact that you can try, but you cannot change everybody.
Right. No, you can, and I've tried that.
And so that happens. So why don't you talk a little bit about customer service and what you observe as far as customer service? Now, I know what I see in the U.S. and in China. I've been to 70 different countries throughout the world, so I've really seen everything. But also, what do you do when you get bad customer service, and it's like so terrible, and I notice that sometimes this customer service is prevalent. So why don't you give us some thoughts and ideas on what is good customer service and what our listeners should do to make sure they're giving good customer service, and do you think it's a big problem?
Well, it is, and that's not even a sociopath issue. That's more so an issue of people feeling entitlement, like you should hire me, period, as opposed to what can I do for you. Good customer service is a win-win situation where I've got certain skills that I'm offering people, and I'm putting my own 2 feet in my customer's shoes. What can I do to make their lives special with my expertise? Okay? Right. So if my job, like I work with Vonda Shepard, who you know from the Ally McBeal show, but she's also sung with Jackson Browne, and she's sung with Ricky Lee Jones. She's played piano for Ricky Lee Jones and various artists, and she is a singer. She's open to this day. She's open for the band Sugarland, which is a really big band. But when she was starting her career, or when they were starting their career, Sugarland, she liked them and said, "You open for me." So there was a roundabout thing. She has this gift where she can talk with people and go, "Wow, you're a blessing," and I'm going to do one thing to bless you. And as a performer, she'll come out after her show, and the fans all line up and they all sign autographs, and she signs autographs, but they end up buying CDs because she's talking with them and she's listening to their life stories. And watching her in action, I see this wonderful customer service person.
Yes.
She doesn't have to go the extra mile to talk with fans and things like that, and yet she does, and she's got that gift. And so I'm working for her, and she's going, "Come on, Ann, I really want to do interviews for this show." So I'm like, okay, so I'm not getting major TV. I'm not, and she's playing in New York City, so or maybe we will get major TV. We don't know yet, because the show is later on this month. But I'm calling all the TV shows that are done that day and seeing who's interested. And then I'm calling the newspaper, seeing if someone will do an interview with her. And, of course, we're dealing with less space. So it's like, man, where can I get placements? Oh, wait, the show is happening in New York City. So let me go the extra mile, per se, and make some one-on-one phone calls to community radio, the radio stations in Westchester County and in New Jersey and in Long Island, and see who would be interested in talking with her. And darn if I didn't get an interview for her.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Ann? She can come on here. We have listeners in New York.
Cool.
And so if you get her your information, we can have her on this week on Friday if she wants to come on. But anyway, the thing is that this customer service, and the listeners, I want you to hear this, what Ann just said. The artist chose to go the extra mile. It is a choice to do the extra customer service. Ann chose to go out and do some one-on-one requests for this radio interview. So she chose to do the extra mile. Now, good customer service doesn't just happen, does it, Ann?
Unless God made you super magnanimous. It can happen. I mean, it happens if you. Yeah, I know what you're leading up to. Yeah, it happens if you put your feet in other people's shoes, walk a mile in their shoes, have some empathy.
Right, and that's very true. And so that's very exciting to hear that she's doing that. Now, what advice do you have for giving this good customer service?
Listening, seeing what the person's needs are, writing it down, processing it, and figuring out what has to be done to get that. You know, I would say the listening is really important. When I see Vonda with the fans, she's got that eye contact going. She's listening. Her body is bent. Her body language is bent over, so she can really hear what her fan is saying. Because she's doing this all in a rock club, so there's definitely noise and.
That's really good. Well, that's good. Now, your definition, or you actually define innovation as breaking the format. So now some folks call that working outside the box.
Right.
Now, why do you think that it's easier to promote?
Well, first off, it's good to know the format. It's good to work both inside and outside the box. That's also custom. It is going the added mile, but it's good to break the format because when you're promoting, okay, when you're trying to get an artist known, whether it's a superstar or whether it's somebody who's up and coming, every artist is a developing artist. What you need to do is market to both because you want the artist to stand out. So you definitely want to market to the people that you think should cover it for that genre. Like if I'm working with Jan Close and I'm reaching out to Pitchfork because he's a chamber pop singer. So they cover bands like him. They cover Anthony and the Johnsons. They cover the Shins. They cover the Fleet Foxes. But I also have to reach out to a folk outlet because it makes sense because they would be interested in him. I mean, the Fleet Foxes were nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Folk Album. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So you want to work inside and outside the box for them. Plus, I might reach out to some German media because he speaks fluent German. He was born in Germany. So that's important to work inside and outside the box and see what can help him. And the other thing that I like doing is, in addition to dealing with the music business, which is a small business compared to most businesses, is also I want to deal with corporate America. I want to deal with charities. I want to deal with educational institutions and government institutions and to help these artists.
Yeah, and I understand that. So some of my listeners, I have somebody write in the chat box that they sometimes feel shy, and we talked here just recently now about working outside the box, and that's sometimes intimidating for people. So what type of things would you say to them to overcome that shyness so that they can maybe think outside the box and break the format?
Well, I don't know the specific reason why this listener is shy, because there can be a million reasons, because the human mind is so strong. I mean, I deal with agoraphobia myself, and initially I thought it was anxiety that caused it, but nope, something in my I have a unique I actually have a neurological disorder that deals with spatial reasoning. So that's really what caused it, and so now that I got rid of all the anxiety, I get it. So I'm not exactly sure what the shyness of the listener is, what the core of it is, and that's something that he has to find out for himself through writing and deep thinking and whatever way he's learned to improve himself, or she has learned to improve herself. I'm going to pretend that the person probably is worried what other people think of them. You know, I'm just pretending, because that's an easy out for me as well. And the hope is to let you know you're not alone, and that chances are everybody that you're reaching out to, I would say 80% of them are also shy and worried if they're going to be liked as well.
Yeah. That's very interesting that you say that, because that's very true. Most people aren't really shy; they're fearful.
Okay.
I think, and what they're fearful of is like what you say. They're fearful of if that other person is going to like them.
Right, or reject them.
Or reject them. And I think what happens is, in life, as you experience things, you realize that it doesn't really matter what other people think.
Yeah, you have to get over that. Cause, I mean, what is the world's population?
It's like
how many
7
people
billion.
are you going to meet?
Yeah. No, and you're right. And so it's just very interesting. Okay, so Ann, we're going to go ahead and take our second break, and then also at the same time we'll take a top-of-the-hour break. We're going to do that, and then we're going to come back. Ann's going to have to leave us, though, at the 30-minute point of the next hour. So if you want to call in, you need to call in now. I have many callers on the line. If you don't hit the 1 key, I won't bring you on the air. But the number to call in is 347-989-1012. So, Ann, we're going to go ahead and put you on hold here, and we'll bring you right back, okay?
Okay.
All righty. There goes Ann for a minute. And, again, you guys can call me at 347-989-1012. Again, we're going to take a second-of-the-hour break, and then we're going to take our top-of-the-hour break, and then let Ann talk uninterrupted until the bottom of the hour. Okay, so this is Mike at Tough Reality, toughreality.com.
Is it possible to read a person's thoughts? Can we implant thoughts also? Is there evidence of the existence of God? Does USGS records show increases in earthquakes due to nuclear testing? Author Jose Collazo says yes, and he has the proof in his 3 books titled America's New Slavery, fMRI Technology, America's New Slavery Behind the Scenes and Update, God Does Exist, No More Nuclear Testing, and much more. Researched under the Freedom of Information Act and other sources, Jose Collazo has the proof to most of his claims and is investigating others. You can get copies of his books on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or www.xlibris.com. That's www.xlibris.com. Or you can click the book banner on the main page right next to the chat room on www.latenightinthemidlands.com. Get your copy now. You're listening to the LNM Radio Network. Check out Crystals TLC. Hit the Avon link to view a full line of 100% guaranteed Avon products. See and order their specialty scented, long-burning soy candles. And while you're at it, check out their other great products from tie-dye to incense. At some point, your power may go out, and Crystals TLC has you covered there too. I have been in the same house with others when power is out and water is not running, and let me tell you, it not only gets dark at night, but the odors become very present. That's why Crystals TLC's unscented and scented candles are perfect to use now or keep on hand in case of an emergency. Their candles are produced especially from Crystals TLC and come in a wide variety. You can order directly from the website at www.crystalstlc.com and bring peace of mind and beauty into your life. www.crystalstlc.com. There is a condition 1 out of every 3 people around the world suffer with.
RMS.
A condition that can be crippling.
RMS.
A condition that causes confusion and discomfort, rapid pounding of a fist on tables, and unwillingness to watch the fake news.
RMS.
Restless mind syndrome. You may not have heard of it, but if you are one of the millions suffering from this condition, there is now hope. You do not have to go through life not knowing what to do next or how to rid yourself of this health-bearing condition, now being recognized by doctors, lawyers, and victims all over the world. The cure? LNM. Just listen to this testimonial by one of our subscribers.
I can say true to my heart that LNM worked for me. I stood up day and night confused by what the fake news has told me. I could not even take care of my family or hold a job. I couldn't even get off the couch to do anything, and I knew there was a problem. Now, since I've been on LMN, my family life is back, and I'm waking up more people than ever around the world.
Now you know what you can do to put an end to restless mind syndrome. Ask your doctor about LNM and ask if it's right for you. LNM should not be taken without a prescription. It should never be taken while on drugs like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. You should also tell your doctor if you take Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, or Randy Rhoads serious. Side effects of LNM include waking up, spreading truth, passing out cards and flyers. Other side effects may include, but not limited to, the expansion of mind and thought, arguments with sheeple, high blood pressure, preparedness, mood swings, and the feeling of a need to get involved. If you see chemtrails after you have begun using LNM, contact your state and local officials immediately, because this could be a sign you're waking up. LNM, because you don't have to live in the dark with RMS anymore.
Is there proof of God's existence in our government's records? Author Jose Colazo brings his years of research into this stunning question to light in God Does Exist, No More Nuclear Testing, and more. Touching on little-known government projects such as the Remote Viewers Program and Active Auroral Research Program, Colazo has uncovered some amazing discoveries through his research and use of the Freedom of Information Act. From uncovered information on the Ark of the Covenant to connections between natural disasters and nuclear testing, experience this revealing look into our government's obscure and hidden work. Discover how new and experimental technologies may change our world forever and uncover monumental proof and answers to mankind's greatest questions in God Does Exist, No More Nuclear Testing, and more.
Hello, this is Michael Vera for CureShop.com with products endorsed by Dr. Leonard Horowitz, including Liquid Dentist, a one-stop defense system for not only your mouth, but your whole body. This unprecedented product aggressively attacks the critters that cause oral diseases using concentrated microfine silver plus oxygen and minerals to help reverse tooth decay and gum diseases, helping repair your teeth and gums naturally. Then, by swallowing this amazing and good-tasting tooth and gum saver, you actually get a natural, nutritional immunization against more than 1,000 strains of oral bacteria and viruses when you swallow. Liquid Dentist is awesome for boosting natural immunity. Imagine your teeth feeling hygienic clean and super smooth for up to 3 days after each use. Swish with it 3 minutes or more after brushing and flossing. Gargle to freshen and protect your throat, and then swallow Liquid Dentist. Wow. What a great idea. It's all natural, healing, and protective. Dr. Horowitz developed Liquid Dentist based on emerging science from England showing a 20-second exposure to medical-grade ozone kills germs deep within decay, even down to the nerve. Then highly concentrated mineral mouth rinsing can remineralize your teeth and harden them, even harder than they were originally. This way, teeth can be saved and not drilled away or lost due to decay or tooth fracture. Plus, Liquid Dentist kills periodontal germs and leaves your breath fresh and teeth feeling professionally clean for days. Go to liquiddentist.net to learn more, or go to CureShop.com. That's CureShop.com. CureShoppe.com to order your supply of Liquid Dentist today, or call toll-free 1-888-621-7611. That's 1-888-621-7611. Call now to save your smile. You're listening to the LNM Radio Network. Folks, I want to take a minute to tell you about an exciting change to our format. We work hard to bring you the truth and give you, the people, a voice. We have done this at no cost to the members, as well as given freely our time. For us to continue to deliver the top-notch guests and conversations you have come to expect from Late Night in the Midlands, we are offering an exciting new format with many new benefits. Late Night in the Midlands will be offering valued memberships at $5 a month. That's about 16 cents a day to become a Late Night in the Midlands insider. Benefits to being an insider include the L&M newsletter, 4 years of audio archives, special priority email, as well as call-in priority, access to groups and special offers, full access to all shows on the L&M network, access to contests, product and service giveaways. These changes are an exciting change to our format, especially the contests and giveaways, and we are confident that you will receive great value for your insider subscription. Thank you for your continued support as we change the world one truth at a time. Subscribe now by going to www.latenightinthe-midlands.com and help us help you see behind the curtain.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Billy Idol fans out there. Moni. I like that song. It's a very good song. I like all Billy Idol songs. I know I'm a Billy Idol crazy man. How about you, Ann? Did you like Billy Idol?
I like Steve Stevens, his guitarist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was just wild.
Yes, that's true. That whole band was crazy. But,
yeah.
But I enjoyed them. Yeah, and thank you so much today. This is really a great interview. The time is flying by, and I'm really having a great time. But, you know, you're working with this program on Kickstarter. Now, I want you to go ahead and detail that out, what you're doing and what you're doing with it. And then we're also going to talk, I want to talk a little bit about your 2 books. People can call in if they want to. But also, in the last half hour after you leave, you mentioned that you might even want to stay. And I don't know if you want to stay. That's great. You can stay on. We can ask more questions of you. And then we might a little bit about the stock market. I know you said you don't know much about it, but you, Ann, could be my guest co-host.
Okay. Let's do it. You just twisted my arm. This will be fun.
Very good, very good. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want you to take your time, talk about this Kickstarter program, what it's all about, and what you're doing with it.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing with it is focused on fundraising for both a poetry book and tour, meaning I want to go on the road and do live poetry dates away from New York City. I mean, I do want to do the shows in New York City, but I also want to rock out in Buffalo and in Boston and Philadelphia and take it on the road. Yeah. So the great challenge is that I'm a recovering agoraphobic. And I mentioned that earlier when we were talking about different ways that people feel shy. So I was one of those people that when I was walking down a sidewalk, I would get panic attacks and forget about crossing the street. So it's kind of an interesting head, but and there's still platforms like on subways or train stations where I get nervous, and I'm very confused when I cross big streets by myself, two-way streets, because there's just a confusion on where cars are going and is this car going to turn and will I make it across the street in one piece?
And let's pause on the Kickstarter. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to what Ann's really saying. She's saying that she has a condition that could stop people, but she has chose to overcome it. And you know what? She's a successful woman overcoming a situation that for some people might cripple them.
Right.
Congratulations, Ann.
Thank you. Well, it has crippled me in the past, and so I understand. And it's funny. I sometimes look at recovering from all this as, wow, I understand what other people go through, because it's quite easy for me to say, oh, come on, all you have to do is put one foot in front of the other and you'll cross the street. And it's like, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody has something. And I'm not alone, and I'm grateful for that. And no, I don't know if everybody has something, but you know, there's enough people out there that you're not alone.
I know, and I'm grateful for you. That's an awesome thing that you share something like that, because that's helping people all over the world.
Right. Yeah. Well, cool. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
That's right.
And so with the poetry campaign, the Kickstarter campaign, my goal is to get $3,500. And I'm almost halfway there. We have 20 more days. And it would be something if every one of your listeners donated $1 or $10, or they could donate $25 and get the poetry book, because there's actually a lot of motivational poetry there that's done in my style.
Now, is this poetry book in addition to the other two books?
Yes, and the other two books are really hard to find now. Using your art and the media to comfort people, I found one copy of it on Amazon for like $200.
Wow.
I have one copy of that book left, so I'm going to sell that, and put that along with my poetry book is one reward. Then I have a book, How to Understand What Your Cat Is Thinking, which was published in the UK, and it was a top book in the UK, so that was pretty cool. And it was one of the top selling cat books when it came out, which was in 2008. Then they brought it over to the States with the Daily books, which is a company that buys used books from all over the world, and that my book was selling better than Christopher Hitchens' book, so I was pretty proud about it. Yeah.
That's pretty good. So, do you own the rights to those other two books, the older books?
I own the rights for using your art in the media to comfort people for the other book, for the Pause for Thought, I don't own the rights, but it's part of a series that was with other cat books. So at some point, the three of the women that were authors that were involved with that series we've been talking about getting together and working on it, and it's just a matter of all three of us just getting together at some point and seeing about a new place to place it in North America.
Very good. Because the reason I was talking that, many of my authors take their book and also Kindleize it. They put it up on Kindle, Amazon, and once you do that, if it sells, great. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't matter. But once it's there, people can download it, and it's a great little revenue stream.
Yeah, and we probably will be doing that at some point too. I know that my poetry book will be available in some format as an ebook or a Kindle book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is that ebook available now?
The
for the poetry?
No, none of those books. The poetry book is going to be available 2014 spring, because we have to do all the layout of it. And that's a funny thing. I have a Canadian publisher that's going to be putting out the book. And I know that a lot of people have criticized me about not getting my book published in North America, by an American publisher. And I'm thinking, that's totally irrelevant.
That's correct.
I like being international.
There you go. Well, you can publish it in China if you like too. There's a market all over the place. But the thing is that, for example, you mentioned people could donate $25 for the book.
Yeah.
If they donate now, then the book will ship to them when it comes out, right?
Right, correct. 2014. And I should say pledge. It's not really a donation because you're getting a reward for it.
Right. So will that be like a hardcover book that they would get later?
I think these books are paperback books, but it'll be a hard copy, and you'll also get the ebook as well.
Oh, you get both. And then what about a signature? Would you sign it for them too? No?
Yeah, and I would say, like, if your name is John, let's just pretend your name is John Mike. I'd say, Dear John, and I'd write something for you.
Perfect.
In the book, so you'd get an autograph and it'd be personalized, things like that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. I love poetry, so I'm going to go get that book after I get off, probably tomorrow morning, because it's 1 a.m. here when I get done. But probably tomorrow my time, I'm going to go grab that and be very happy about that, because I'm also at the same time not just going to get the book, but I'm going to help fund Anne in her journey across the world. Is that right, Ann?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's a very, very important thing, I think. So let's go ahead and continue on. So the Kickstarter program is actually because I had somebody else do something with Kickstarter. It's like a place where you have a website, you explain your story, and then you ask for donations, right?
Absolutely. You ask for folks to pledge. When you're doing a Kickstarter is fun. It's a crowdfunding platform, meaning everybody you contact and say, hey, guess what? I'm doing something amazing. And I've been using this Kickstarter campaign as a trip down memory lane and reconnecting. Facebook is fun, and you can see people's scrapbooks of what they're up to online. But with this, it's interactive in the sense that I can make phone calls to friends and tell them about the Kickstarter campaign. I can do interviews with journalists, as we're doing right now, and that gets spread out through people you don't even know. And I can certainly post on Facebook, which I have, and Twitter, and all over the web, and send personal notes online to people via email, via Twitter, via Facebook, whatever your cool favorite social network platform is. So it's fun.
That's very good. Now, we were talking a little bit about your fear, your condition that you're dealing with, your agoraphobia. And, I just have a question for you. in the past have had issues with depression, and I went through counseling and that different thing. But in the process of going through any therapy, and ladies and gentlemen, I recommend that you go in therapy even if you don't think anything's wrong with you, because sometimes you'll find, this is the truth, sometimes you'll find things inside of you that you didn't know. What I like to call my personal demons, right? And we all have to deal with them. So, Ann, you've had to deal with that. You've had to deal with these demons, and how have you conquered them? And can you give any advice to people what they might do if they're experiencing some of that type of thing in their life?
Well, I actually did go to therapy. I am in therapy, actually, and I'm
good.
Fine with sharing that with people. And I'm actually also, I was ashamed of having agoraphobia, and I was ashamed of other things about myself. And about 2008, I made the decision to get into therapy, and I did that with my local public hospital in New York City, so it was very affordable. And I would meet with a doctor and also a social worker. And one of the things that they initially had me do was deal with what I was grateful for and what victories happened every day, because one of my demons was that I was something to be ashamed of. And as I'm saying that, I can still feel that hurt, which is helpful, again, with me being able to recognize that with other folks. So I do recommend that. It is, for me, it still is a lot of thought and a lot of taking things seriously about myself, self-examination, and the eagerness that I was doing a lot of the right things in my life, but the stresses can add to the garbage that you have inside yourself.
That's very true. And so in your writing of poetry, do you feel that helps you?
Yeah, well, Elliot Murphy, who's another artist I've worked with, said, my songs tell me about myself. My songs know me better than I do. And I find that to be true, because I think when you're crafting a poem, I initially put out my emotions in the poem and put out all kinds of thoughts, and then I carve it and look at the poem, and suddenly I just start seeing stories that make sense as I make the poem a functional piece of writing.
That is cool.
Yeah, so when you start streamlining a poem or a song or an essay, and you do have to work as an